Let's talk about what I believe to be the most important stretch of the Bears' schedule for this upcoming season. So what is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, please do hit that subscribe button down below. Please make sure to hit the bell icon so you are, in fact, notified every time I drop a new video. All right, so let's hop into this. So I was taking a look at the Bears' schedule the other day, and I was just like, man, this is a tough schedule, right? So I'm like, what part of this schedule is going to kind of make or break the season? And to me, I kept looking at it, man. Again, this is a tough schedule, especially on the road. And I'm like, all right, we got tough teams across the schedule, but I just kept coming back to the fact that we really need to start off hot. All right. And why do I say that? It's because the first 4 games, because we have early bye week, so we have a week 5 bye week. The first 4 games are probably some of your easier ones. All right, you start the season out at home against the Minnesota Vikings. I believe that's a Monday Night Football game, okay? And then you go to Detroit, all right? That's going to be Ben Johnson's homecoming, if you will. Then you play the Cowboys at home, and then you got the Raiders in Las Vegas before you go on the bye week. In those 4 games, you got to go minimum 2-2. You got to go minimum 2-2 because, to me, down the stretch in the middle part of the season, it is insanely difficult as you play Baltimore on the road, Cincy on the road, you got Philadelphia in there on the road, you got Green Bay on the road, you have Minnesota on the road. Even the home games, again, you got the Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers, which, not saying those are tough teams, but they did improve. So it's a very tough middle part of the season. Insanely difficult. So it's very imperative that you get off to a good start here. So like I said, 2-2, bare minimum the first 4 games. I'm talking, let's get a dub against the Vikings for sure, dub against the Raiders, and then you probably lose to Detroit, maybe in Detroit, right? And then you lose to the Cowboys, but I think you can beat the Cowboys too. So out of those 4 games, the only team definitively better than you, again, we're talking on paper at this point, but I truly believe it, is the Lions. The Lions are the only team that are projected to be better, I believe, than the Bears. So the Vikings, the Cowboys, the Raiders should be able to beat all 3 of those teams. Again, giving a little room for error here, saying 2-2, but let's say 3-1 should really be the scenario there. Then you go on the bye week, right? You're 3-1. You come out of the bye week, you get that revenge game against the Commanders in Washington. That's going to be a tough game, no doubt about it. And then you get the Saints at home, which should be an easy win, right? You can't lose that game. So coming out of the bye week, let's say you are 3-1. Then let's say you lose to the Commanders. That's fine, right? They're a good team. They went to the NFC Championship game. So that's 3-2. And then you beat the Saints. You're 4-2. So 4-2, first 6 games. And then you head into that gauntlet of a schedule where, okay, we at least built up some room for error there, because if you get off to a bad start, like you start the season, 2-4, and 1-5, like that's disastrous, because it's just that middle part of the season is just going to just completely demolish you, right? And again, hopefully, we're much improved and we are able to rattle off some of the wins. But again, I'm not expecting the Bears to be better than Baltimore. Cincinnati's got a great offense, and obviously you get the defending Super Bowl champion in the Philadelphia Eagles. And the division games are always tough with the Packers and the Vikings. So my point to you guys is that early part is just going to be so crucial. So crucial. So I want a 4-2 record in the first 6 games. Bare minimum, it's got to be 3-3. Bare minimum. You have to at least go even through your first 6 games. So to me, the early part of the season is the most important stretch. And I know it sucks because that's how the schedule is. But it's just the reality of the situation is you got to come in and start off hot. And it sucks because you have a new head coach, you have a new offensive line, you have a second-year quarterback learning new offense. So it's like all of those things usually take time, but the schedule just says you don't have the time to wait. So I'm hoping we, get off the ground hot and just start, clicking right away, and hopefully the Bears rack up the dubs. So that's where I'm at with it, people. I think the early part of the season is the most important stretch. I thought about the very end, but again, we don't know what's going to happen at the very end, right? Whether or not what the Bears record is and which teams are playing for what at that point, because you got the Browns, you got the Packers, you got the 49ers, and then you close out the season against the Lions at home. So I'm not focused on the last 4 games or last stretch of the season. To me, it is the first part of the season that to me is crucial. So really, really hoping that we have a great training camp and the offensive line, Caleb, Ben Johnson, everybody on the same page, and we're clicking, man, because we need to stack those W's. So let me know what you guys think. Do you agree, disagree that the early part of the season is the most important stretch on the Bears schedule? Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching.